What's up, everybody? We're here at the Magic Convention 2007. We're here at the Trigonomics booth. We're talking to my man Stitch. What's going on, Stitch?
Hey, Gary. How you doing?
Man, I'm hanging out, hanging in there. There's a lot of cool stuff going on at the Magic Convention, but I tell you what, right here at the Trigonomics booth, they got it going on. They got Tag Radio going down over there. Rebecca Ryan Long's here. You got, Trig himself. There's a lot of stuff going on, and you're here, my man.
Yeah, this seems to be the hottest booth in the whole show.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I think it is. It's definitely got some of the most talent. That's for damn sure. Now, we had some big fights that just passed us. We had Randy Couture. He fought Gabriel Gonzaga, stopped Gabriel Gonzaga, defied the odds once again. What was it like being right there in the building for that?
Well, it was a tremendous opportunity. Number one, I am the one that had the opportunity to go and wrap Randy's hands. So, right before battle, I'm the one that preps him up. So, to me, that was a big honor working with the natural, and then to work in his corner and be involved in history in its making. And Randy just after the first round just put me in awe, Gary, because the man he's like just never gets old and gets better and better, just like fine wine.
It's like he found the fountain of youth or something. I mean, seriously, Randy Couture, and I hate to be cliche, but is my hero. That guy is, he's just the example. He's like, he's not the bar. You can't get to the bar. You know what I'm saying? You can't get to that. That he has exceeded the bar. The bar is here. Randy Couture is here, and I just think it's an amazing thing what he's achieved.
Well, and then not only that, but as an individual, he's just a great person because he just won a historical fight against Gabriel Gonzaga Saturday night, and even though I'm not part of the team, I'm in the corner. He comes and gives me a hug just like I'm part of the team. So he makes me feel like one of the guys, and that's just the way Randy Couture is. So it was an honor and always a great pleasure working with him.
You know what? Randy is like that, but you're like that too, though. Everyone feels like you're part of the team, even if you're on the other side of the deal. There's never no animosity. It's always good stuff. And speaking of that, I know you told me a little bit about after the fight, the doctors were having some trouble with Gabriel's nose. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, exactly. You got breaking news. I'm going to let you know. Nobody else knows but Gary here. But you know what happened? I was putting all my stuff away, and the doctors couldn't stop the bleeding on Gabriel's nose before they took him to the hospital for an MRI and stitches and what have you not. So anyway, they pulled me out of the dressing room, and I go in there, and sure enough, he has a nice little cavity right at the top of his nose, and the cut kept bleeding. But I stopped it. I plugged it up for them, put him in the ambulance, and they took him up to the hospital. So, when the doctors call you and the medics call you and want you to do something that they can't do, to me it was a big honor.
Oh, absolutely. He's the guru, y'all. He's the guru. You got to know. You know the face, but you got to know the skills are there as well. So now tell us a little bit now. Unfortunately, fortunately, I've had the opportunity to talk to you many times.
Sure.
But a lot of those interviews, only a couple of them have seen the light of day. You and I talked about some DVDs that you were working on. We also talked about Boxer's Nightmare. We also talked about that as well. Let's remind everyone a little bit about that, because those are things that I always like to bring up.
Well, thanks very much. But, Boxer's Nightmare, it's really a passion that I did 5 or 6 years ago. It's a boxing documentary that deals with all the bad things that go on in boxing, that give the fighter the disadvantage against management, against, just everything, nutrition and dehydration, the punch drunk syndrome. We discuss all those issues so that a young fighter that's coming into the game, whether it's boxing, even now MMA, they'll be able to at least get some information off of that. But, I've been working with Oscar De La Hoya's people right now. Hopefully, somebody will pick it up and bring it out. I think it's definitely something that boxing and MMA need. Education is a big thing. And when it comes to education, Cuts, Cornermen, and Confidence, that's a DVD that I want to do, Gary, and I'm looking for sponsors, obviously, and work with a good company that will bring it out, but, show the fighters how to wrap proper hands and how to work a cut. There's not anybody that shows anybody how to work cuts and then how to work a proper corner. And, and a good example was the Randy Couture fight Saturday night, because normally I just get in there when the fighter gets cut, but there was so much blood that their corner was smart enough to let me go in every round to make sure that Randy wasn't one of the guys that was bleeding. So, in Randy's corner, very, very, very good corner, and that's how you work together with people. But Cuts, Cornermen, and Confidence is something that hopefully by the end of the year I'll be coming out with.
Yeah, absolutely. We look forward to that. And of course, if there's anything that I can do with promoting this thing, I always want to do that because I believe in what's going on. You and I talked a little bit about safety factor between boxing and MMA. Right. And I wanted to know which one was safer. Tell everyone what you told me.
Well, I think definitely MMA is a lot safer, and there's reason behind that is in boxing, the primary contact is at the head, and these fighters, they go 12 rounds. How their training process is contact to the head, but most and foremost is MMA fighters opposed to boxers. There's two different demographics. Number one, MMA, a majority of it is with fighters that have a college education, are collegiate wrestlers. They have nutritionists. They have good management teams. They have sponsors. Boxing, on the other hand, Gary, it's entirely different. The majority of these guys have less than a high school diploma, and the majority of these guys, they stay below the poverty level when it comes to making money, and therefore, they go out there with pure heart. And sometimes you just can't do it with pure heart. You got to have assistance with somebody.
Yeah, I really think that boxing needs to, believe it or not, take a cue from what's going on in MMA and really find some more safety things, for the fighters.
Oh, absolutely, no doubt about it. And if boxing wants to be educated, I know MMA is definitely getting into the educational part of it, and I think it really benefits everybody, and it benefits the sport. The bottom line is taking care of the fighters, and I'm glad to be represented as a cut man in MMA and in boxing, because that's what I bring to the table.
Yeah. Absolutely. The next time I put a beat down on my cameraman, I want you in his corner, because I'm going to lay it on him.
Hey, now, you know what? I'll take him anytime, man. 2-1. All right.
Stitch, thank you so much.
Hey, Gary, it's always a pleasure, and congratulations on your show. You got a great show. Stay tuned to Gary all the time.
Thanks a lot. Stitch on the Ultimate Podcast.